I was walking to the train, and a raggedy, beardless, homeless man was walking the same way. And so we began talking. What surprised me was that he spoke eloquently in grammatically correct sentences with an impressive vocabulary, offering a reasoned argument such that he could have passed as a university professor giving a lecture. As he kept speaking, I wondered how a person that smart could have had such trouble in life. So how can we flourish as humans? I think for all of us, it is tough to survive and thrive and flourish, to get jobs and money and love and success. Being smart helps, but it isn't enough. Rather, we should strive to be open-minded. When thinking, our mind should be like a 17th century New England town meeting, having a rational discussion, taking in data and evaluating arguments. It's not good if some ideas in our minds are excluded because we're afraid to think them. Or if one idea dominates the others, that's not good either. It is better to have lots of different ideas so we can choose the best ones. There's lots of different arguments, so when they battle in our heads, the best arguments will win. Further, we need what psychologists call executive function, a mini-mind overseeing and ordering our thinking, telling our larger mind what to think about and in what order. Sometimes banging a gavel to say enough thinking, make a decision, so we choose, then we evaluate what happened, and the process begins again, hopefully ongoing throughout our whole life. What cripples thinking is stuckness, being stuck on one idea, one viewpoint, one fact, one ideology, one religion, one political party, one scientific theory. Being stuck is bad because the world isn't stuck, but is in flux, constantly changing like a river in full flood, churning with debris, and we are on a raft. Our thinking can't keep clinging stuck to one raft. We must be ready to switch rafts if we have to. A key to open-minded thinking, to unstuck thinking, is the phrase, I don't know. We don't like to admit not knowing something, but it is good for us if we know that we don't know. Something does not make sense. So we think about it. And in our minds, we try to connect longer and longer chains of cause and effect and ideas to explain the anomaly. For example, in my mind, before making this speech, I thought something like this. If I try to make a Toastmasters speech without notes, and if my memory fails, then I may pause and make people uncomfortable. So I'll read my speech from the podium and try not to say the word Oops, I said the word Again, I'm stuck. Oh no. We should strive to have a liquid intelligence, liquid like the planet Earth, with its water, the medium of life, bringing together molecules gently, not fast and furious like the gas planet Mercury, not cold and stuck like the solid planet Neptune. We want a fluid intelligence where ideas can mingle, come in contact, kiss gently perhaps, stick or unstick without becoming stuck. The 20th century philosopher 38 Special elaborated about ideational liquidity in his treatise on thinking, and I translate from the American. Just hold on loosely, but don't let go. If you cling too tightly, you're going to lose control. The purpose of thinking should be to create mini minds inside our heads which mirror the real world. Mini worlds which start off as small shacks of theories, and as we learn, our shacks of theories grow into skyscrapers of knowledge. These structures help us understand the world's complexity and navigate through life. But building them takes time and energy, and that brings us to a problem. We've built a mental skyscraper of thought, but it has a fixed shape. What if a girder is wrong? What if it cannot explain a hard-to-explain fact in our ever-changing world? Case in point, In 1798, Thomas Malthus built his skyscraper of thought on the idea that food production increased arithmetically, but population grew geometrically. So therefore, he predicted famines. Sounds like a good idea? He was wrong. Malthus, he did not account for human ingenuity with things like chemical fertilizers. Building theories takes energy, but so does unbuilding theories. So it's easy for us to resent having to rethink and rebuild our edifices of thought, which sometimes can pile up like dishes in the sink. That is why it is tough for all of us to be open-minded. It is especially tough for smart people. It is tempting to see the eloquent bearded homeless man as lacking free will. If only he had free will, like I have free will, then his life would be better off. But I think this thinking is incorrect. He and I are both products of the past. Neither of us could choose our parents. The correct way to see things, I think, is to see that everything that happened had to happen, could not have happened otherwise. And a benefit of this deterministic perspective, which I have, is that it is freeing. It wipes away guilt and blame and finger-wagging, and it keeps me from looking down on the less fortunate. The excuse that, quote, everything is fated, unquote, however, does not get us off the hook if we get in trouble. For example, I cannot say, sorry, officer, for rear-ending your police cruiser, since it was fated that I was driving, and then it was fated that I got an extremely urgent text message from Midas about a 20% discount on an oil change. So it's fate's fault, not my fault. Well, that argument won't work. I would be punished with a juicy ticket and summons, rightly so, because we are accountable for what we do. The correct idea of free will, in my view, is a simple idea that we have to act as if we have free will while knowing that we don't. For the simple reason that we can't foretell the future. What happens tomorrow? Nobody knows. So we have to make guesses. To flourish, here's one more strategy. We slinky our brains horizontally, like Spock in Star Trek doing a mind meld. We can ask questions of people that know things. I'm a handyman and I know how to, say, fix a closet door. But if I want to know about engineering or karate or business or arranged marriages, I can ask people who know more than I do. And it's like my mind benefits from their minds, and it becomes, my mind expands magically. If human flourishing is about intelligence, and I can compensate for my intellectual limitations by linking my minds with other minds, it is a uniquely human capability that helps us survive and thrive, provided we are open-minded, clear out a workspace in our heads for new ideas, clean out the dishes, say the magic words, I don't know what we don't know, don't get stuck, see how everything is fated. So when we goof up, we can shrug our shoulders and say, oops, did it again. Thank you.